I'm Bill.
And I'm Candace.
And we're the Disruptors. Wow, we got that right this time. I'm impressed.
Well, we've been practicing.
Yes, we have. You'd be surprised how practice makes perfect.
It does make perfect.
Of course, I started out perfect, but you have caught up.
Thanks for the acknowledgement, Bill. I really appreciate that.
Anytime, kudos to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to go into a very, very tough topic. And that topic would be...
Customer experience.
Dum,
dum, dum.
Customer experience. Well, where do we start? Because usually, right now with high technology and everything, customer experience is a little bit loose. You know what I mean?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that our producers in the room.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. He decided that he would go ahead and join us today.
Patty, you've been replaced. Okay, continue on with the show.
Patty's in here. She's monitoring all of us.
I see. So, what we're going to do now is Candace is going to tell us why her customer service is so wonderful.
Well, I think that it's a topic that really, ultimately, it's a lost art. The art of truly touching our customers with engagement is lost. And that's why the statistics read that in 2020, yes, pay attention. 2020.
That's right around the corner.
For the first time, the customer experience will override price and quality of service. So what that really means is that you can charge more, have a lousy product, but if the experience is heightened, obviously you've got winners, chicken dinners.
So that makes a big difference as far as the quality of the product is concerned?
It will, because they'll pay 21% more.
Even if I had a product that wasn't really that great, and maybe I trimmed it up a little bit to get the bottom line a little, shall we say, healthier, it would not make any
it's not going to make a difference, because what they're finding in that is, remember, now we talked about this in an earlier show, that as of the numbers for last year, that 95% of all money decisions are based on emotion. Okay. So if it's based on emotion, why do you think there's such a love-hate between, let's say, Apple and Android? I mean, either you're an Apple user and your life is designated to Apple Watch, laptops, phone. I mean, everything is why? Because of that loyalty base, the engagement, how they're engaged. Android people, completely different.
But doesn't that confuse the market to a certain degree?
No, I think that competition's healthy. What are you, new?
Well, I just got here.
Welcome to capitalism. Greetings. Salutations.
So then, but doesn't that actually confuse it somewhat when you go to e-commerce because of the platforms, the way they're laid out?
Bottom line is this. If you're going to offer something that has anything to do with, since we're talking about Apple and Android,
right?
Then you already know the playing field. Wake up, right? So if you're going to offer something, then you're going to have multiple platforms and you're going to design it to be able to have that service and interact with both of those types of market share.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because naturally we know the customers' experiences, everything has really started to go into online shopping.
I want to point out, too, that this year, over 50% of large corporations, 50% of organizations are going to be implementing significant business model changes in their efforts to increase customer experience. Going on for a while. I really kind of feel a little bit more on the vindicated side because I've been talking about this for 8 years. And so, finally, the heavens have parted. The angels have come down. Oh. And because we've been pushing this, there's a bunch of things on why why this is the best time for small business to develop their customer experience. First of all, for a customer to develop it, corporations, here's the disconnect, right? Corporations have a hard time face-to-face. What's the face of the corporation? How do you interact with that corporation? When there's a customer service problem, who solves that? Is it somebody here? Is it local? Is it global? Is it a bot? Is it, these are all things that are on the table. Then that's if you have a problem. And I mean, we can look at the hard numbers. Companies lose with poor customer service. And how do they lose? Over 91% of customers that have a bad experience don't want to do business with you again. So that's corporations, right? The corporations that have dialed it down with great customer experience. When there's a problem, they resolve it. Everybody kumbaya, leaves happy. And then they want to go ahead and it's not a problem. And this is where small business and medium-sized business can really engage in such an incredible experience that customers are loyal. We already know that when we buy local, often we pay, a few pennies more. We build our own local economy. But what is the interaction and why should it be important for businesses now to really dial in and engage in that customer experience?
Okay, now let's take that exact idea that you just brought up.
You're not going to play the devil's advocate, are you?
Yeah, yes, I am. I've got my pitchfork right here alongside
Chris, I told you to remove his horns.
This twist. My horns are electrified today.
Yeah,
We've got little beacons
sure.
going. The thing that I'm trying to point out is good. We're changing this whole theory around, but yet the customer experience of online, in many cases, in service companies, etc., has been so modified and so much computerized that customers are getting aggravated. You don't have that. You don't have a feeling of, I know the job's going to get done.
Oh, but you know what? There's so many different ways, and we're going to get in that in our next show.
Oh, okay.
On
well, I
ways
would
to increase our customer experience. But there are so many ways where we can monetization. First of all, is money.
Okay.
Okay. I want us to think cha-ching, because if we have to reinvent the wheel every single time we have an engagement, we're losing time, money, and momentum. So when we put that off to the side, we have to monetize. But that doesn't mean we can lose the human component. Remember, everything has been industrialized to the point where there is not that human component. And that's why our customer service experience, that service level has continued to decline. And people get disgruntled. They don't like going back to you. Remember, customer experience equals the quality of the engagement. So
that's very interesting.
If your quality of engagement is powerful. Remember when we talked about this on an earlier show too. It used to be, right? 3 touches. Now I'm dating myself, but 3 touches. Then it was 5 touches. Then it was 8 touches. Now we're up to 12 touches. And I honestly believe we'll be at 15. I'm not even so sure if we're not in actual play, if we're not already at 15 touches.
Okay, now stop. Tell the audience what touches are, because
just
you're making us nervous and the microphone is blushing.
Thanks, Bill. The touches equate to the different ways that we interact. Okay. And so it takes, on a cold market, right, it takes 12 times before somebody goes, oh, hey, wait, that's Bill with Kiba.
Right.
Wait, that's Candace with Wild Child. Okay, so it takes 12 times. Remember, it took 7 times in a conversation for me to use Bill. Hi, Bill. Welcome. Hey, Bill, how about this? Constantly using your name. 7 times before somebody sitting there will go, wow, they use my name. Mm-hmm. And then when we greet our customers, hey, Bill, welcome. How's it going? That makes a huge impact. That's something
Very
that's
true.
simple and it's free. It doesn't cost anything to be a little bit more on the personable side. But the bottom line is this. Our small businesses need to stop and take a look at, on the flip side, on the other side of the counter, so to speak, on the other side of the website, what is their customer experience? Customer experience, bottom line, I guess, in a nutshell, is really what is the emotional engagement with the company? What emotional ties or bonds are they building? And I think that that's something that's always overlooked, because as a small businessman, you're looking at, you've got bills to pay, you've got sales to take care of, you've got social media, you've got,
all these different
you've got
facets.
manufacturing, you've got, it's overwhelming. And the last thing you're thinking about is, wait a minute, I have to do what? But instead of working hard, work smart, because you're already there.
Plus, you've got the honesty, credibility, and clarity going at the same time with a personal touch.
Yes.
It's very hard to get a computer to do that doesn't speak English.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still it's technology.
Very true.
How do we work with technology and eloquently weave it with our experience and how we're able to touch our clients and leave a lasting impression of wow.
And this also takes actually the thought that we've talked about many times of a local business now looking at a global market.
Yes.
Building that global market, making that work. Because now the little guy can compete actually on the same basis as a medium-sized company reaching out all over the world, whereas 25 years ago, it was reaching from one county to another in your local town area.
Yes. Using the yellow pages, newspapers that are going by the wayside. I mean, things like that.
So it's a whole different marketing exception. But the thing that I think that is overlooked, and we'll talk about in the second show, is just how the personality should be, as you said, woven into your marketing program.
Well, it takes clarity. And one of the biggest things is that the CEO, the owner of a small business, has to actually step outside of the small business and think about the end game. What is the process from, the very first time that they kick the tires, which we kick tires by surfing the internet.
Absolutely.
And we take a look, and we look at their social media.
Very
so
true.
we kick tires, and we decide before we ever pick up the phone whether or not we're going to do business.
Yes.
And so what's the fun, how do you engage from hello? And what does that look like?
And I think that people are now, the younger generation that's coming up, because they're so tech inclined, don't really see it as much as the other generation. I'm talking about people from 45 on up, because we've experienced the hand-to-hand type situation, the feet on the pavement, advertising and building those bonds and relationships. Now we are looking at a whole new world, which the younger generation has grasped the technical part, but now they need to explode and really get the hands-on feeling of how business should have a customer experience.
But I think that's why the younger generation is the best generation, because at this point, they're really wanting that personal touch. They want the live. When you go into a restaurant and you get that personal touch, they know you by name, you come in, they say, hey, do you want your normal? Yes, they pay for it, and they take it, and they come back over and over and over again. They want the hands-on. They want the human interaction, because
absolutely,
that's what feeds them.
I think so too, and I think it's colonization, getting them to the point where they look forward to coming in, because, oh, well, Sam, how are you? It's great to see you. Do you want black coffee? Do you need a little more sugar this time, Sam? Or whatever. It makes them feel like a family. Honesty, clarity, everything just kind of matches together in that relationship.
Exactly.
So they really look forward to going back into that particular business, versus as some of the businesses now are putting, technical IT systems on your table, so you don't have to have a waitress pay the bill. It seems like the waitress is disappearing more and more, not talking about Applebee's or anybody of that nature. But to me, it just adds it isn't a warm feeling.
Exactly.
You're not building a relationship. It isn't a warm feeling. Oh, yeah, the food's good, but, I just kind of miss that. Somebody coming up and, how are you doing?
Yeah, the human interaction is what makes the customer experience.
Well, one of my favorite restaurants is Chandler's. Of course, they're closing September 30th. So everybody
2018, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, which is very sad to me. But one of the reasons, other than exceptional food, never had a crumb taste bad there. When you get there and you're seated, I don't think we've ever been serviced with less than 3 attendees.
Wow.
How can we help you? I mean, from napkins or, everything. Somebody else comes out with water. Somebody else comes out with, whatever they're serving. And then by the time you're done, and they're not in a hurry to get you out the door. Okay,
they're not in a hurry to move you, yes.
Oh, no. Matter of fact, come in, stay a while, eat, have great conversation. And I think we've lost that art. And so when everything is fast, hurry, it feels like
rushed.
You're on the conveyor belt. Even going in for surgery, you are on a time schedule, which I understand for efficiency, things like that need to be timed. But